Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Real Man Be Talking Podcast. I'm your boy, Tony Henry.
This is James.
I wasn't ready. This is BJ.
And this is TY.
Hey, and this is where every man has a story, and this is ours. Man, we are super excited to be here tonight, man, and just have a conversation. It's been really dope hanging out with my family and just having great conversations.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks.
But we back like we never left.
Yep.
Couple live streams in
Back
between.
like I never.
Don't call it a comeback.
Call it a what?
Supposed to say I've been here for years.
Got you.
Messed up.
I messed up. Anyway, so I got a question for y'all. Did y'all see They Cloned Tyrone?
I'm back.
I know
like
we're
I
probably
left,
like
so.
really late on this, but I think we
don't
can
know
talk
what you
about it.
talking about.
Huh?
I don't know what you talking about.
What you mean?
What's that?
They Cloned Tyrone. Have y'all seen that?
I watched it.
Is that a movie?
Yes, that is a movie on Netflix. I know. Did you see it?
Yes,
I may or
saw
may
it.
not have saw it.
I may or may not have saw it.
You may or may not have saw it. Come on, man. I know y'all had to see it.
But I can talk about it.
All right, let's talk about it.
What you want to talk about?
All right, so there were some things in there that was very interesting to me. And I know in our last recording, we touched on politics, and we also touched on music, and we touched on a lot of things just recently. And when I watched the movie on Netflix, They Cloned Tyrone, there was just some very interesting things that happened in there that was like, oh, so they just going to put it right in our face, like we don't, like it ain't nothing. Like they pretty much showing you what we've been doing to you for a very long time, and then there's nothing you're going to do about it, especially if you don't take the moment to come together, which is one of the great things I liked about the end of the movie. But one of the things that stuck out to me was Frog. And Frog was the man who sat in front of the liquor store, and he always had these sayings every time Fontaine came out of the store.
Fontaine, that was his name.
That's his name. And if some of you, if you haven't watched the movie, I do encourage you to go watch the movie. It's a very great movie. It has a lot of truths in there, and yeah.
I don't know if I recommend.
I recommend.
I don't know if I recommend.
The first few minutes of it is tough
It's a hard watch.
to swallow.
It's a hard watch to swallow.
No,
But if you are gonna watch it, no children recommended.
No children, please.
yeah, that is very much so true. No children recommend.
Say a prayer
This is
before
a
and
mature.
afterwards.
Audience only.
This is not rated R. This is definitely rated mature
So
or mature.
the frog the frog who sat in front of the liquor store, he always, even from the jump, when Fontaine first came out of the liquor store, he always said like these sayings. He'll always say something, "What's up, new blood?" Or he'll just say something, and I always wondered why he kept saying these certain things. And in this movie, when Fontaine gets shot and killed, he comes back alive, and then all of a sudden he goes back to the pimp house. What's his name? What was the pimp name? Jamie Foxx. We just say Jamie Foxx, whatever. And Jamie Foxx is like, "Whoa, how the heck you back alive?" Now it goes down this whole quest of different things that's going on, and they find themselves inside of a goddamn abandoned house, trap house, and there's a secret lab at the bottom of it, and there's this white dude who got this fro in his head. He's listening to Michael Jackson, which is kind of weird, because he was listening to Michael Jackson. I thought that was like very funny. And then all of a sudden you start to see like some of the key things that was going on, how they had the cocaine there, they had these different experiments going on, and it just really amazed me of what they discovered in that movie.
I got a question real quick.
I got to answer.
I don't remember what setting it was, like what city that was.
It was Glenn.
Glenn what?
That's Glenn. Glenn something. I don't remember what city it was either.
Okay.
But I know they said Glenn.
Just I don't remember what area it was in.
But one of the things I liked about it, once they went on this quest, you started to see a lot of things unravel when it came to the hair salon scene, the chicken spot scene, even the club scene. I'm sitting here thinking like, man, why does it have to take this type of movie to actually wake us up to see what has been done to us, and why have we been accepting this for so long?
All right, who's the us?
The black community.
Okay. Yeah, where it took place at?
Glenn, Michigan.
Where was it supposed to represent?
Was it Michigan?
Yeah,
Glenn, Michigan? Okay.
I just looked up Glenn.
So it was supposed to represent majority black neighborhoods,
Mhm.
aka hoods, and all of that. Okay. Go
Why
ahead.
why have we been accepting this for so long? Like why does it have to take this type of movie to actually wake us up to start having real conversations? And also, what was you guys' thoughts when you watched the movie, and what stuck out to you? Y'all just gonna get quiet.
I think
dang.
I think the biggest thing that stuck out to me was they talk about MK Ultra a lot in the mainstream as far as conspiracy theories is concerned, and one of the tell signs of that is code word that kind of like brings them to attention. I don't know if
Do
y'all
you
ever
know what that code word was in that movie?
I forgot what it was, but I remember watching
Operation Black.
what was that?
I think it was Operation Black.
No, it was something else.
It was saying
Definitely
black.
No, it was definitely something that had nothing to do with black. I'll look it up, but
Look up that
You
code
talking about
word.
in the movie?
yeah,
In the movie. It was something
Yeah.
black. I just watched it today.
because he did it at the end of the movie.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah,
It was a code word. I think it was something black.
and this actually happened on kind of like they showed it happen on live TV with Al Roker. I don't know if y'all remember watching
Talking
that
about the black
recording.
dude on
Yeah, I can't. It was ABC
Good
or
Morning
something
America?
like that. Yeah, Good
Yeah.
Morning America.
mhm.
And they said, I think the code word for him was
Black Olympia. Or Olympia Black. It was one of
Olympia
those.
Black. Yeah.
Yeah, Olympia Black.
He the code word for him was what was it? Holy Spirit.
It was.
They said Holy Spirit, and he like
Wait, what is this?
He
What we talking
jumped. He was on Good Morning America, and he was in the middle of a conversation, and somebody was like,
Are you saying this is a video?
yeah.
This
This
is
was
a
like a
real
live video in real life, and he was having a conversation. They were talking, and one of the guests that was on the show, they said Holy Spirit, and he was like, he stared at the camera for like, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes, like straight, like he couldn't move, like he was stuck. And I think that at that moment in the movie, when they said Olympia Black, that's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
They said Olympia Black, and they couldn't move. And whatever instructions was given to them next, that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened in the movie. Or they can get tapped out of it. And there's a 3-tap, some type of 3-tap rule. This actually happened on live TV with what's his name? The senator,
I think
Mitch McConnell.
Oh, how you doing?
Yeah,
You good?
he's gonna leave
Oh,
stuff.
man.
The Mitch.
I was like, is he going to say Holy Spirit? Because I'm sitting here waiting.
No, it's a 3-tap. You got to tap out at 3. It's like a 3-tap out, which is ironic,
So
right?
what does the code word represent?
Hmm?
So what does the code word represent?
I would say control.
Mind control. You ever seen those videos where they be showing?
It's ironic though. Like, isn't it 3 strikes you out?
What they call it?
Isn't it 3 taps
Hypnotize?
you out in wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hypnosis. They were like, I'm going to do this, and the count of 3, I'm gonna snap my fingers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna fall
It's something
asleep.
about the number 3 that has a representation with mind control. I don't know.
I seen that done with Cardi B on live television.
Yeah,
she
tap,
was literally,
it's a 3-tap.
she literally was talking, and somebody said a word, and her face got.
Yeah.
She didn't say nothing, and they had to say the word real quick so she can answer it.
Wow.
and then she answered it right on
No,
time.
they tapped her out 3.
They tapped her out.
They tapped her out
did
3.
something.
It's always a 3 tap out. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
I'm talking about that thing was crazy. So that was one of the things that stood out to
I
you?
think that was the biggest thing that stood out to me was the whole, like, they got their attention in that way. And I think that's what's, they get us the same way. Somehow they're getting us with the 3 tap. I don't know how, though. I don't know yet.
Did y'all watch it? I know y'all watched it.
I did watch it. I think for me, like I have a science background, so I'm always interested in tests and experiments and stuff, and just the idea that this can actually be happening or is happening. That's something that it's almost scary to me because I do think about things like, hey, what is the military testing and all of these different things, but
They put something in
if
that
something
Popeye's
like
chicken.
this is actually happening and doing
Put something in that
experimentation
Popeye's chicken.
on people and doing studies, like this is just real life and it's happening. So that was something that definitely woke me up, and it gives me somewhat of a fear, but that's just where the mindset of man is right now, of being at a point where we're essentially trying to play God. And that was something that has always been alarming to me, but just seeing it laid out in the movie and how our black culture just kind of gets wrapped up in it, that was something that
We're the
affected me.
experimental group.
Yep. Voluntarily, almost, to a certain extent.
Very voluntary. What about you, BJ?
Something that stood
I
out.
wouldn't say it's voluntary as much as it is expected. I don't think we're volunteering for it, but they have an expectation that we will participate.
I hear you. Expound. After BJ, though.
So hold your thought. Write it down.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Let me
Write
get
it
my
down.
mental
Put it
note,
in your
please.
notes.
There you
Put
go,
it
right
in your
there.
notes. I would say the thing that stuck out to me was the vices or the objects or the places that they used to brainwash the people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what they ate, in this case, it was fried chicken, but food. What was the hair salon? That was the place, or the hair products
Mm-hmm.
for the women. And then the third place, which was the church, which was, it was funny, but it was crazy. It was like, oh, snap.
That grape juice.
Yeah, all of that. But what was Frog's line when
He
to
said,
make him think about going to the church?
he said, where do everyone go from Babylon? It was he said Babylon
To like find answers or
to
something.
find answers, or to
And
go
it was
to
the church.
another area, and the church was Mount Zion. Was
And
it
it
Mount
was-
Zion?
I think it was
It was
Mount
Mount
Zion.
Zion,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
Mount
yeah.
Zion. Yeah. So just thinking about the places or the things society uses to captivate, or I want to say captivate, I would say to herd people into a certain way of thinking or a way of acting that they have set up for. So that's what stood out to me.
I tell you, the most shocking thing. The most shocking thing for me was the church scene, because of the simple fact is, the church plays a big part in the black community, and how they displayed themselves in the black church, it's kind of like how we see it today in some churches. It's just entertainment. It's just performance. It's just in a place to where, like, you just go, you get your little fix, and then boom, you literally back to normal life and just doing the complete opposite of what it is that you're supposed to be living. So I'm talking about they was in there just all this kind of stuff, and then next thing you know, they in there juking. I'm talking about just straight juking. You like, wait, what in the world is going on?
It's like a mix, a blend.
It's like a blend. It's like, so y'all ain't, so we're portraying that is the community that literally just go to church for entertainment because we want to be entertained. It's just like going to the club. The club scene is what really got me, because you can tell how when they discovered the underground in its fullness, and they went into the strip club, the DJ get that call like, hey, we got some invaders, we got some intruders, we got a situation, and how the DJ was able to just change the music, change the vibe, change the frequency of the people. First it went to, okay, we just gonna like stir it up, and then next thing you know, it went from stirring it up to like
Spin.
and then next thing you know, you see Jamie Foxx like he all caught up into it. And he ain't even have no juice at
However
the
he
time.
wanted them to move.
I'm talking about
change the
however the
music.
DJ wanted them to move, they was able to, they moved. And then once they made it out of the strip club, now you see a whole crowd of people trying to go. So that just lets you know the power of music. That lets you know the power of the church, and that also lets you know the power of food. Because just in that one scene alone, when they was at the goddamn chicken spot, everybody in there laughing, just keep just laughing. And he's like, I ain't never seen
It's
this.
about what you consume.
Mm.
Let's switch back. Hold on. Our producer telling us to switch back. But yeah, about what we consume through our eyes, through our mouths, through our ears. Whatever gets into our bodies can get into our spirits or into our minds, and that's what drives us. So that, I know they were just using chicken, but the message behind that is a lot of what you eat can control how you think.
Message.
A lot of what you listen to, which what we talked about. Side note, if you haven't seen our latest Instagram live, we talked about music and the power of music, which we might touch a little bit tonight. But a lot of what you listen to, most of what you listen to, if not all, but most of what you listen to can affect what you think and what you see
And what you feel.
etc.
Yeah, we'll extend that to what you watch on social media.
And what you watch. Yeah. So yeah, it's all about what you consume.
Those little reels, it's a reason why they want you to add music to it.
Mm-hmm.
Those reels catch your eye, and when you add music to it, automatically make you want to watch it. Music has a lot of power, a ton, a lot, especially in certain tones.
Expound on
This is
that.
true.
Do you want me to expound on what I was supposed to
You
expound on?
gotta let him get that one out first. One at a time. Go ahead.
Don't give them too many tabs open.
Too many tabs open.
And give that same energy you was giving before the we hit the start button.
I forgot what I was supposed to expound
So
on.
you
at
didn't
first.
think you were
told you to
I
write
did
it
not.
down.
I
That's
did
crazy.
actually,
Listen,
but
told you
I
to
didn't write it down. But
And I
anyways,
gave him-
y'all
I
know
gave
what a
him the paper
hypocrite
too right
is,
there.
right?
Say it again.
Y'all know what a hypocrite is?
Yeah, it
Like
has
a
to do
liar.
with putting on a mask.
A hypocrite is just somebody that's just not themselves on Sunday. You know, you go to church on Sunday, they act like they got the Holy Ghost, but Monday they be right back to themselves. They just not themselves on Sunday.
So that's when the hypocrites come out. But what was it
true.
like? And I think we kind of mentioned it earlier, but it was like something woke up inside of them to where they're now outside of everything that's happening.
What woke up was that moment where they went on that quest, and Fontaine seeing himself, because you gotta remember, Jamie Foxx was like, I saw you get killed, and all of a sudden you back in front of me, and then it took Fontaine down this rabbit hole to where they was like, okay, well go ask Yo-Yo, okay, and then Yo-Yo was like, yeah, I seen it. Then he was at the gas station again, and he saw the whole car scene. To where, matter of fact, it was before the whole Yo-Yo situation. He seen that dude walking down the street, and that black car picked him up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff happened after that.
That's what made him. That's what made him raise his eyebrow. But the thing that woke him up was when he was acting. When they were in the restaurant, when he was acting like something that's not him. So he was like, "Hold on, I ain't laughed in how many years, and now I'm just uncontrollably laughing. This ain't me."
It's not me.
I think the craziest scene in there was when Fontaine got killed again. But you probably missed that. The same dude that killed Fontaine in the car killed him again when they went to go co-opt him to get him to participate in trying to figure out where the lab
I
was.
didn't even think about that.
He killed him again. They had to take the new clone They had to take the new clone. Remember, that's how they
when
got
they fake
inside.
killed
He
him, when they
fake
shot
killed
him
him.
in the shoulder.
No, they
Yeah,
faked
he
Talking about
it.
when
did
they
shot
was
the shoulder.
acting.
No, he got killed for real once.
Yeah,
And then they did it again so that they can get inside of the building.
Right.
yeah.
But they originally he killed the first one, so there was another Fontaine, and they had to wait for
same dude.
they had to wait for him to come back, and they had to kind of like, hey, look, this is what we was doing. They had to remind him what was going on because he was a new Fontaine. A lot of people missed that. That jump threw me off too.
No,
Yes. The quest
No.
had to start again. The guy who was supposed to
he
kill
had
him,
to, he pretended he got
he
killed.
pretended it the second time. They had to go back and do it again because he realized
In the beginning, he died for real.
yes.
It's-
So the
the
new one
first
came
time-
back,
When
and he
they-
went back to Jamie Foxx's house,
Yes.
and they had to remind him like, "Yo, you just did all of this."
yes.
And that's what made him. But it wasn't on the quest yet. That's just what made him start
when he
thinking
went on
like,
the quest, the guy who killed him the first time killed him again, and then he brought back the next one, and he was like,
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
because he told him the story, and he was like, he acted like he was gonna help him, and he ended up killing him.
No, I think they gave you a precursor of what was going to happen, and then Jamie Foxx had done. That's when they came back to that part, and Jamie Foxx was like, "You ain't gonna like this," because you'll see it play out, and then you're like, "How did that just happen?" And then they go back, they revisit on how it happened.
Okay, I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
I'll watch it again just to
Yeah,
make sure I ain't tripping.
they revisit how it happened, and they played it out though. Every single I was in there like,
I'll watch
So-
it again. I thought it was a second,
No.
a third Fontaine at that
Somebody in here said you can't watch it again.
So is
I
it
ain't
is
gonna
it
see.
really like a matter of like mind control? Because I know we were talking about
heck yeah,
code words and different things.
That's-
Well, that's a part of it. They have to re-download every time Fontaine died. They had to re-download the
yeah.
new clone.
Because it just did you see the part where
Which
Fontaine
ironically-
first died? When he got shot the
They
second
put all
time
his
on,
memories. They had to
put
re-download his
the
memories.
screen over his face and had him revisit all of the stuff that he do on a regular basis. And once he did that, he came back to himself in that part, and they tied him up. But Fontaine was already inside of the place, ready to when he was shot. So yeah, it is definitely mind
I
control.
think that's what made Get Out to me a horror movie.
I watched Get Out, and I was like,
Because Get Out was the same thing.
"Did y'all see Get Out?"
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. That was
That was the same. It was the
5+,
same
yeah.
thing.
But yeah,
Yeah, it was about
mind control.
transferring your consciousness over to a different body.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same idea, the clone idea.
So how do we?
They were just using actual humans to do it, not clones, as far as the
Yeah.
movie was concerned.
How do we what?
How do we, like how the Bible tells us, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind? How do we stay away from the things that we obviously saw in the movie, the things that are happening in culture, the mind programming that happens, whether it be through music, sometimes even through movies or church? Like, how do we keep ourselves focused on the Lord in this culture that we live in?
Stay in the word.
I think he says you have to put on the full body
The
armor,
full armor of God.
the full armor, not just part of it,
You gotta put that bad boy on daily.
all the way.
And that's where we lack a lot of time, because we partially do it because we've been partially taught, and because there's a lot of churches that don't fully disciple their the congregation. It leaves room for the enemy to play on the minds of the people. But if we connect with, in the word, and then we allow and pastors do what they're supposed to do, is fully equip the congregation in every aspect. Because a lot of pastors, a lot of churches don't even talk about some of the stuff that's going on in the world right now. They won't bring up, a lot of the murders in the black community, but they'll bring up a school shooting. But that happens every blue moon. But there's mass shootings every single week in Chicago and New York and California and all these different places. You won't hear them talk about the border. You won't hear them talk about how they're talking about the cashless society coming in, where you have our government talking about how they want to literally put chips in you. But they'll talk about how God will bless you. They'll talk about this, they'll talk about that. So I think if we allow ourselves to get in the word and to properly be discipled, we'll find ourselves in a better position to see God move in our lives, and we'll have better discernment of the things that's going on. That's just me though.
I got a precursor question to that question. I think maybe the first question is, how do we get woken up? Because I think we all on this past live talked about we were all saved Christian, but was still listening to certain stuff, still watching certain stuff. And we all asked the question, what made you stop listening to that music? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what everybody said, but there was one type of experience that happened with all of us. Like, this thing woke me up and it made me cut this off, or it made me see the bigger picture. So in order for us to stay out of that place, we first got to listen and take heed to that first kind of wake up call for whatever it is. Usually it's a preacher or, somebody giving us a message of truth, like, hey, this is why this thing that you're doing is so detrimental to your spirit, or so detrimental to your mind, so detrimental to your life. And then us as believers, we got to choose to listen to it and then start doing the work to stay out of that place. But I think we'll just talk to Christians, a lot of Christians are deceived to where they think it's okay to still listen to certain things or still watch certain things. And they're so deceived where they're not being real with themselves about how this is affecting my life. How is this affecting my spirit? How is this affecting my walk? So first we got to start there. Like, what are those moments that God uses to kind of wake us up, kind of jolt us to stop doing those things? And then how do we stay out? So what did y'all talk about on our live? What was that thing for y'all?
I remember me when I first got saved. I was in that place where I was learning. You make a decision to give your life to Christ, and you have to start that process of renewing your mind. So it's like, okay, I remember telling a story where my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, I think it was the new Drake album was about to come out, and I was like, yeah, I'm about to go get this album. And she was like, we don't listen to that. And I'm like, I had to understand, like, hey, I have to stop doing certain things. And there was a progression that I had to go through. And it's just a matter of just cutting certain things off that were either distracting me or taking me back to my old ways. And that was one of the things for me. Like, the music was one. And I spoke about that. I don't know if you remember what you had shared.
I said for me it was the political stuff when it came to listening to a lot of these artists, and then you can't. For me, was you can't say you want to support the black culture. We need to save black lives, save black women, and we need to protect us at all costs. But yet and still, all day, every day, you're rapping about murder, 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 kill, 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 destroy, destroy, destroy. I'ma slap your B. I'ma do this to your baby mama. I'ma do this to your kids. And that's the music that you're playing all day long. That's the things that our children are hearing all day long. And then another thing was a lot of these artists, a lot of these rappers, singers, whatever, entertainers, they support people who literally push agendas that goes against who we are as a people. And that's when I was like, yo, I cannot keep listening to this because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. It just, and then I realized, and we just listened to it when Busy Bone was talking about how, there was a turning in the industry to where, the prison system, it was growing, and it was growing because of the music industry. So a lot of these videos started coming out, and I'm like, yo, so we just allowing ourselves to be victims now, that's when I really just had to stop and say I can't do it. So I really just stopped listening because of those two things, politics and because it's just counterproductive. Don't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I had to transition, and just being around people that had already walked through it, that helped me a lot too, of transitioning, because music was just big in my life. I'm sure it's big, and it's just
I'm a
big
drummer,
everywhere.
so yeah.
And it was like I needed something to.
At heart, I'm still a drummer, but I'm not drumming. But
Oh, I thought you just said I'm a Trump supporter.
no, I am a Trump supporter.
I was like, that's random. Why
Yeah,
you
I am
just
a Trump
shut-
supporter. That's
I'm a Trump
that's
supporter.
definitely that. But I was saying I'm a drummer.
Just
so,
to throw that out there.
yeah, just I'm a drummer and I'm a Trump supporter. Yeah.
I just didn't know what you was talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
he said that music was very big.
Right,
so I was
right.
like, yeah, I'm a drummer, so I understand.
I think for me, being a musician,
Love
What?
it, because you about to go down a rabbit hole.
He about
I
to-
was
I'll
just
throw-
trying to answer the question.
He wasn't even done.
Go
I thought
ahead.
he
Go
had
ahead. Go
finished.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Now I gotta be quiet.
Write it down.
Write it down.
It's
No,
a pen
I
and
was
paper.
I was just gonna make the point of having to transition the music that I was listening to in the world to Christian music, and then being able to set that down and really develop a stronger relationship with God. It was like a progression for me. And I think sometimes that's what it takes, but it's really hard to do that unless you're surrounded around people that are either encouraging that or helping you through that. It's easy to say, hey, I'm just going to get in the word. But it's like when you have music, like you grow up, if you're a drummer or something, you grow up, you just have music playing in your ear from the time you wake up in the morning. Like reading the word becomes like boring to like a new believer. So it's like you have to, I won't say everybody needs, I needed something to transition me from the worldly music to Christian music, and then to be able to develop a deeper, stronger relationship with God through other types of music and things like that. So that was what I needed to get there. Go
Y'all
ahead,
ready?
T.Y.
Go ahead, T.Y.
You sure? All right. So I think for me,
So what I was finna say was,
I
That's like
think
the
for
third one he
me,
forgot.
the biggest thing for me was being a musician and studying music and everything. It was a
so
tough.
everybody want to be a musician now. That's what we're doing.
I mean, I am.
I think I'm the
musician.
only one that don't
Okay.
play an instrument.
Okay.
But for me, it was getting into the word and kind of being directed and realizing that whether we realize it or not, music is programming, and we program our minds and our subconscious through the music that we listen to. So when we're reciting the words, when we're reciting the lyrics to these songs, we're actually kind of incantating these ideas onto our subconscious without realizing it. So for me, I just had to stop listening to music for like a long time, especially music with words, and even Christian music. Like I just kind of cut it out all the way, because the music with words was just, it wasn't the mood for me. So I cut out all of the music, including the Christian music. The only time I would listen to it if I was in someone else's car. If I was in my own car, I was listening to speakers, and I was listening to like preachers, or I was listening to the word, or jazz music, and that was it. Classical music. Other than that, if it was music with words in it, I had cut it out, because I realized that it was controlling me. It was.
About your mind. Yeah, it's about your mind.
Yeah, it was.
What you putting in your mind.
It was directing my mind
Mhm.
to do what the song was saying. And a lot of people still ask me to this day, why you listen to that music? I'm like, I don't want to listen to the words. I want to have my own thoughts. And you don't even realize it, but when you listen to music with words, you're reciting someone else's thoughts. So, you cut out the words. You listen to something like jazz or instrumentals or something like that. Now you can put your own thoughts in over that. As far as thinking is concerned, it's a wonderful way for you to create a thought process.
What if I just like the beats?
That's good.
But if I still
mean
want
for
to
the
listen to
song?
that stuff, and I
Talking about
just
for the song?
yeah, and I just like the beats. The beats go hard.
The beats do go hard.
The beats usually
isn't that okay?
the beats will go hard, but it's it's like even without the words, if they've already cursed the beat, it's still gonna be cursed.
Mm.
Message.
So it's really difficult because that's like a whole nother conversation that goes into the like the tone of music. I forgot what it's called right now, but it'll come to my head in a second. But
The spirit of the music. Yeah.
no. Actually, like
the actual
modes.
Oh, the mode of the music. Yeah.
Like
yeah,
modes of the music, like Phrygian and
Instrumentally.
Lydian
Yeah.
and stuff that y'all probably never even heard of. There's different modes of music, and each mode of music have a level of control over. It's like what do you call it?
Frequency.
Frequency. Thank you.
Waves. Yeah.
It produces a different frequency. So when you listen to music in like horror movies, it's on a different mode. It uses different like all black type stuff or
Minors.
all white type keys when you're listening to the music.
Minor.
The minors.
No, bigger than that. It's not just minor alone.
What is it?
It's a mode. It's very difficult to explain. It's like it takes a lot more energy to explain. I'm not gonna go into it right now. But the mode of the music, the mode of the music in itself, creates an atmosphere.
I do remember when I was a new believer, and I would hear preachers talk about hip hop, and I would ask myself, like, is it really that deep? Like, is it really that much going on in the modes of the music, the actual lyrics, the people that are actually behind the music industry? Even if we think about the movie, is it really that deep that we're talking about, chicken, we're talking about perms, we're talking about the church and clubs, and like, is there a message being sent in every little thing that's around us, and we're just missing it? Like, that's the place where I had to just grow in, because you get to a point where you're just going through life sometimes, and that for me, like, I'm just trying to stay out of that place. I know you said woke, like, I'm just trying to stay out of the place where, I guess you can call it spiritual discernment, of where I want to pay attention to those things and learn from those things. And like you said, if you're in the Word, then you can kind of see and guide yourself, or let the Holy Spirit guide you through a lot of that.
That's what it is about the movie. So they use certain devices, tools, whatever, to dampen or deaden your discernment to where you can't think or make decisions. Your senses are dulled to now you can be controlled. So that's one of the main reasons why music is so powerful, or church, or
alcohol,
drugs, anything. It's just anything that can be used, is the devil. Anything the devil can use to deaden your senses to where your discernment is so shut off, to now he can lead you to where he wants to lead you. So that's the first step to being in control, setting the atmosphere for your discernment to be turned off.
That's good.
So, yeah.
I'll just add one little piece, just read a little caption for you real quick. One of the modes of music is called Locrian, and this is how it reads. Locrian mode is sadly the least used of all, conveying pure evil and darkness. That's how that mode is described. Locrian, Locrian.
Sound like Lucifer.
sound
like Lucifer.
And it's like that in itself is an example of what I mean by like the curses on the music in itself. When they're writing the music in these modes, they know these modes very, very well, and they use them when they create this music. And so it's like you can't really take the curse off of that. It's already built into the song.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be very dangerous to listen to. It's kind of crazy when I try to listen to one of the reasons why I stopped listening to music, even gospel artists, they were using that. They were using these kind of secular beats and trying to put, good music over it. It's like curse music is already on it. You can try to put your words all you like. It's not gonna really change it. If somebody in the world listen to it, they're gonna hear the world music in their head just as much as you listen to what's that song Biggie did? Oh, you go. What's he remade the Isley Brothers song. You know what I'm talking about?
Come on, audience, help us out.
Come on, Dane.
Phone a
Drop it in the
friend.
chat.
Phone a friend.
Come on, Dane.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that song. What song? What's the original song? By the Isley Brothers.
Ain't no mystery.
Love in the Sheets.
Yep.
In the Sheets.
Yeah.
You either hear one of the two songs when you listen to the song. When the beat come on, either you from one era where you hear In the Sheets, or you from the new era where you hear the new song. I happen to hear both because I know both.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like in my mind, I'm if they put Christian music over it, I wouldn't hear it. I would hear the old song.
I can attest to that because I remember one of the first CDs you gave me was a couple of Christian artists, and I remember riding with my brothers and I'm playing the music, because I'm trying to change my mind. He's like, man, that sound like so and so.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, dang, I want to be a good example, but you're hearing something that's familiar to
it's
you.
hard.
That's
It's-
one of the reasons why I stopped listening to Christian music, Christian
Yeah.
rappers, because they
Yeah.
all sound like the world.
I was gonna say, what other music you listen to?
Huh?
Christian rap, okay.
You said what?
Because you said Christian music.
Well,
So I say,
Christian
okay,
Christian
okay.
rap. I don't listen to the Christian rap. I don't. It's only one person that I listen to, and even sometimes I gotta like shut him off, and that's Jay Monty. But other than that, I stopped listening to it because I'm like, I remember one time matter of fact, it was just today. My wife put on what's the radio station?
95.3.
Yeah, no,
Nah,
not
nah,
the other radio
Nine.
station.
Hot
95.9.
95.9.
Yeah.
One of them.
One of them stations, and I'm like, I'm like, bro, you sound like Future in my head. Like you sound like either Future in my head, or you sound like the Migos. Like your flow, your style, the way that you're like you're rapping the music. It's like it's giving me. I might want to listen to the world music. I might as well.
Yeah.
And then you're barely saying Jesus, you're barely saying God, you're barely saying how the blood, how Jesus sacrificed and gave up the ghost and all that kind of stuff. You're speaking more of a positive, but you're not speaking the word for what I hear personally. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I stayed away from it. I'm like, I would rather just sit, like Tyrell said, just sit and listen to someone like a Myron Golden or a Grant Cardone, or I'll listen to a Miles Monroe, the late Miles Monroe. I'll listen to my own pastor, and just hear the word, or I'll listen to some affirmations because I would rather have that being soaked. I'll soak that up before I try to go and listen to all of these different artists and different music because I'm only going to soak in what they give.
Yeah.
Because it don't make any sense to me anymore. Like, it's just like, yeah, we in this world, but I'm not of this world. I'm in it, but I don't have to literally be what the world gives me. I could be who God created me to be in his image and his likeness, kingdom-minded, righteous. So, and it's a tough walk because you're trying to fight off the old man that you used to be daily, you know what I'm saying, to continuously become a new man every single day. So I can't.
It's a real walk.
It's a real walk. Because you got to die to your flesh every single day. Every single day you got to die to your flesh. Apostle Paul said, I beat my flesh daily. Like, you got to beat your body under subjection. Not physically beat it, but I know back then they physically did that. But every single day you got to consistently tell yourself, I'm walking in the things of God. I am God. I'm creating his image. I'm creating his likeness. I am the head. I'm not the tail. I am above. I'm not beneath. You know what I'm saying? I am the lender, and I am the lender and not the borrower. I got to speak these things consistently because if I don't, I'll find myself speaking death. Hence the reason why the Bible says death and life is in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Whatever I speak, I love it. So I gotta be careful of what I put in because what I put in will come out.
That's right. When you speak, it comes from your heart.
It's beautiful.
Out of the abundance of the heart. Yeah.
Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
That's right.
There you go.
That's what the Bible says.
There you go.
That's why you have to be very, very careful when you speak. Because your heart gonna speak. Your heart, you be like,
So things gonna come out. You gonna
you
be
be
like,
like listening to people. If you just listen to people talk, don't hear them. Listen to them and be like, man, you all right?
The tone they saying it in.
I'm
Just
talking
look
about
at
everything.
Oh,
you got
bitter.
to look at them and be like,
You bitter.
Well, you got a lot
So
going
you been
on.
feeling like
Who
that this
hurt
whole
you?
time?
Who hurt
you okay? You need some? You need a hug? I got you. Let
You
me
need
give
some
you a
milk,
hug.
baby? You need something?
You
Okay.
need a hug or something. I'm praying for you. And they don't even realize that that's the crazy part. They just speaking. But it's like, it's coming from your heart when you speak. It really is. And you have to be cognizant of those moments and be careful what you allow in, because what you allow in is what will come out.
So I got a question. So what have you guys seen differently in the music culture from the time we was in the world and to now? You know what I'm saying? I know for me, I didn't hear a lot of the murder, kill. I heard a mixture of different music that literally you can be dancing one moment, you know what I'm saying? Then they say, you want to make love, you want to be in the sheets.
Love
you know what I'm
music
saying? And
is almost completely gone.
it really is gone.
It's either sex or death. That's it.
Let me
Sex
stop and think about that.
or death.
It is.
ain't
It's-
no.
it is
I don't even
Sex or
think
death.
they use the word love in music at all. I don't think I've heard it. They really say it ain't about love. They just want sex. That's it. Or
That's
death.
that's the difference. It's
It's
just sex and
huge.
love. It's just sex and
At least in the 90s, it was a little bit of love.
It was a lot of love in the 90s. Where you think we all came from? A lot of us
Slow-
came from.
slow jams.
80s, slow jams. You got the
I wouldn't say it was a lot of love. It was a little bit of love. It
was
wasn't a lot of
probably
love.
created
It was
on
probably a
gospel
little bit
music.
more love in the
It was
80s.
made on gospel
I was
maybe.
probably made on gospel.
Yeah,
I gotta ask
you was
my
definitely made on.
Yeah,
you was
my
definitely
parents.
made on
They was probably
gospel.
listening to gospel.
You
when they
was
made
most
me.
definitely made on gospel. No question about
A
it.
few hallelujahs.
It was probably some BB and CC.
Nah, I'm gonna go with Hezekiah Walker.
Hey, you gotta find out.
I'm
You
gonna
gotta
go
let
with
us- you gotta
Hezekiah
let us know
Walker
next
on
That's
that
what I
episode.
was listening to when y'all made me.
Definitely Hezekiah Walker for sure.
Come
He
on.
hit with the deep voice.
Nah, I don't know. For me, like I remember, it was more like dance music when I was young. It was slow.
It
jams.
wasn't Fred Hammond. I know that much. That was too much. Late in the minute. She be like, no, we ain't turning nothing around. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep.
Go ahead and turn it around.
Turn that worship down.
It's going to. It ain't
Let
working
me
in your
work
favor.
in your favor.
It's not working in your favor.
Go ahead and turn
BJ
it
said it
around.
was no lust in that.
I don't
it
know.
was
I'm
straight
just
pure.
assuming. I'm just assuming.
Oh man,
But yeah, I was
that
just
would be
saying,
funny to hear though.
before BJ lay out the details, I was just saying, like, I remember growing up, like, we would have birthday parties. It would be like dance music, you having like dance contests. That was really
Scrub the
big.
ground. Scrub the
Exactly.
ground.
Or you watching the grown folks. They listening to music. They slow dancing and slow jams, and then it starts to get into hip hop. When I was like in middle school, early years of high school, where it's like all about the bling bling.
Crunk music.
And like nowadays, and crunk, and nowadays it's like this, I guess, drill music where everybody's killing people and talking about who they're killing and all this stuff. And it's just like, it's saddening that that's what you hear. And like you said, if you're not discerning, like you almost become dead. I mean, in a sense, dead to it, to where it's like, that's normal. And that shouldn't be normal.
And that's what's matter of fact, we was just listening to Michael Smith on the TED Talk, and that was one of the things he was talking about the high murder in our communities is because of the music that we listen to, but most important, not just the music that we listen to, but who is pushing the music out there. Because of the simple fact is, I know for me, I never listen to the music to want to kill. I always listen to the music to. I just thought it was really dope to hear.
Yeah.
And thank God I was grounded enough to not go and want to just kill somebody just to kill somebody. Come listen to some music, but let's just think about all of the different youth out there who literally they don't know how to fight. They don't have fathers in the home. You know what I'm saying? They're very feminine in a lot of things that they do. So when they listen to this music, it's literally gearing them up to actually go and kill one another. Like when I listen to music, it was either you want to be a dope boy, you want to be someone that a ladies man, you know what I'm saying? You want to be someone who just got the girls, you know what I'm saying? You was chilling. There was like there was different categories growing up. You was the dude who got the females, you was the dope boy, and then you was the one who was just real crunk and you wanted to fight everybody. Like you had different categories. Now it's just like literally only one category, and this category is literally taking out a lot of our youth and a lot of our culture today. And it's like, what is going to have to change? Do you think they're going to have to pass a law to cancel rap music? Do you think that will ever happen?
No. It feeds to their agenda too much. Sadly. They wouldn't do it. It feeds too much into their agenda.
You got to speak up.
The system.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they have an agenda that is heavily weighed against allowing us to kill ourselves. So they don't have to kill us. We're killing ourselves. So why would they stop doing that? That's a part. It fits right into their agenda. So why would they do anything to stop that?
And there's just too much money in it. That's what people buying. I mean,
and it's a ton of money.
That's just where the
It's like a multi-billion-dollar
industry. That's
yes, I would probably say in the trillions. Honestly, at this point,
that's like saying will somebody ever cancel the pornography industry?
Oh yeah, it ain't going nowhere.
There's billions of dollars.
Who cares about how many women are being trafficked? How many children are being trafficked into that industry? They don't care.
We ain't gonna talk
it's
about
a lot of money into
That's it.
I think somebody was exposing the exploitation of childhood actors, and one of the ladies was like, "You're destroying these people's lives," and he was like, "These people destroyed our lives. What are you talking about?"
Oh, you talking about I know you're talking about on The View.
Yeah, she was like, she was upset that he was.
Show.
She was upset with the guy who was a childhood star that was being molested by these producers, and he's exposing these people, and she was upset with him that he was exposing them. It's like, you should be like, oh my gosh, can't believe they did this to you. She was upset that he was exposing. Like, why are you doing this to these people? You shouldn't be exposing them. He was like, what are you talking about? I didn't ask for that person to touch me. I didn't want them to be touched. I didn't want to be touched.
I just wanted to be an actor or actress.
I was just trying to act. He can't even get his friend to step up because he's afraid they might kill him.
But you know what? That's one of the things that I don't like about the industry, especially with a lot of stuff that's coming out. I've seen that they do a lot of rituals that literally embarrasses you. Like, I give you a prime example. There's videos that came out with a particular rapper who was literally had to wear a diaper in the middle of the streets. Like, that's embarrassing that you got to do stuff like that in order for you to get a record deal, to get money. I've seen it to where a lot of stuff has come out where you had to sleep with somebody. They had, like, you got molested by other men. You got things that has happened to you in order for you to get this record deal. Now you get this record deal, and all of a sudden you're literally all day, every day. Matter of fact, Meek Mill just came out about it, and he said it. I sent that in the group chat where he was like, yeah, we got paid to literally talk this type of rap this type of way in our music, and that was the only way we really got paid. We only got book shows, we got this and we got that. And it's like, so you're willing to sell your soul out for a whole bunch of money and then degrade your community at its best.
That's why you're not supposed to fall in love with the money.
And now you leading a whole generation of people for so long, just killing off of your music, you know what I'm saying, degrading women off of your music, doing all these different things off of your music, and all of a sudden, you want to save the people.
You know, but it's like when people expose the truth, we have to respond to it. I don't think a lot of people respond to when the truth is being exposed sometimes, and it kind of gets dismissed of like, hey, why are you bringing this up? Why are you talking about this? Or it's maybe only one or two voices that are talking about it, and it gets swept under the rug and things like that. So how do we, and I guess I'm answering my own question, but how do we have the discernment to recognize when the truth is being exposed? I guess that goes back to the word again. Knowing the word, being led by the Spirit.
Say it again. How do we?
When the truth is being exposed, like, hey, you have artists.
You mean like somebody's exposing the truth, but everybody's kind of ignoring it?
Yeah, most people are ignoring it. Or, hey, this person just rose up and spoke against, like you got Meek Mill coming out and saying that they had to do this.
But
if that's truth.
The thing about that is that while, the truth may be being exposed, there's always going to be a louder voice that will literally
squash it,
bring that back down to a minimum. You know what I'm saying? Just look at what's going on in America right now. You have all of the stuff that has been happening in our country, and all this truth is coming out about child sex trafficking, about what's going on with the Hunter Biden and all that kind of stuff. But yet and still, they're drowning that out with other stuff to keep people hypnosis, or keep people, paralyzed into thinking, no, you got to go back to think this way. You know what I'm saying? You have all these TV shows, all these actors, they know the truth.
Yeah.
They know the truth. They know exactly what's going on. But a lot of them are a part of what's going on, and they can't even go against what's going on, because if they do, they don't get paid. So they got to lie to you.
Money is the motivation.
That's why the Bible says what? The love of money is the root of all evil. Money ain't bad. It says that when you love that more than you love God, when you love that then more than trying to tell the truth and save a generation of people, you have literally caused, you become evil. Evil-minded with evil intentions. Just evil, nasty people.
Yeah.
Well, it's a high cost to pay to be an outsider. It's a very high cost to pay. And the people who step out into that role as the outsider, they pay the piper for real. And they definitely don't get the amount of support and love that they should be getting as a result of that situation, because they almost getting shunned by the very people that they're helping in many cases. So we just have to make sure that we kind of stay prayed up, and we catch on to those situations, and we help them continue to expose that deficit that's out there, because it's a lot of nonsense that's going on, and the church in itself has almost become a moot point. As a collective, we've become a moot point, and they know that. The world knows that, and that's why they keep calling us out. And it's ironic that the world is calling the church out. The world is calling out Christians, like, why y'all ain't doing nothing?
Everybody calling.
It's kind of sad. It's a reality. It's a reality, but it's like you guys have become like a caricature of Christianity instead of Christians. So, we have to make sure that we ourselves don't become exposed to that situation where we ignore what's going on, and we just allow it to happen. Now we got to get out and do something. Like, in one sense, I hate the fact that they do this, but in another sense, I understand where they're coming from. If you use the phrase thoughts and prayers, they like basically say you're an idiot for saying that. And in a sense, they're right. But in a sense, they're wrong, because thoughts and prayers are very powerful. But what they're saying is, if you're only going to say, I'm gonna give thoughts and prayers and not gonna put any action behind it, they're right. It's a moot. You're not doing nothing. Do something. Don't just tell me you're gonna give out thoughts and prayers and you have no intentions on following up on that. And so in a sense, they're right. But the way that they mock it, or they're way wrong, because thoughts and prayers are quite powerful. And they do move mountains. They do make a difference. So we have to continue to do the work beyond just the thought and the prayer in itself. Yes, we need to allow that thought and prayer to go out to those people. Sometimes we don't have the resources to do the help. And sometimes we don't even have the ability to make things happen. But when we do, for the people that have those resources, they need to be handed out.
So as we close up, what are some things that we need to do? What's up?
I got a question.
Okay.
So we all married. What kind of music are we supposed to have sex to? what are we supposed to get down to, man?
That's a very good question.
What are we supposed to get down to?
That is a very good question.
I'm just
ask it right out.
gonna say this. The Bible says the bed of the marriage is undefiled. That's all I'm gonna say. So whatever you and your spouse come in agreement to, that's on y'all. If y'all want to jump off chandeliers, if you want to, build a ring in your room.
Wait.
I said music.
I'm saying,
I'm
just saying, if you want to listen to some, whatever sex music you want to listen to, you want to throw on some R. Kelly, you want to throw on some Trey Songz, or whatever. Hey, throw it on and get your freak on. You know what I'm saying?
They have what you call it?
I'm not finna put on no TD Jakes.
No. They got like some Christian R&B, right? So I'm a new believer, new married man. I'm like, well, let me throw on some Christian R&B. I'm like, nah, this ain't it.
Come on, let's be honest. It won't feel right.
But
it won't feel right. It won't feel
the marriage
right.
bed is undefiled.
It's not gonna feel right.
Wait, what won't feel right?
If you
having sex with Christian music in the background,
it won't. It won't feel right. It won't.
Will it set your mind?
I'm not trying.
We talk about the mind, so
I'm not trying to be funny.
I think it might be different from the man and the woman, though.
Say what you gotta say. You audience. Say what you
Say
gotta
what
say.
you
I feel
need
like
to
the
say.
man.
Say what you need
I
to
can't
say.
read our audience's lips.
With any type of music,
What you got, audience?
but I don't know about the women. If
What
I
you
don't
got?
know.
No music.
She just wants straight
It's better
moan.
for no music. That's what you said.
We
What is
singing
it?
songs to
No
ourselves.
Just straight moan.
Straight silence. Silence and voices.
we make our
Start
own
your
music.
voices.
We making
Make
our
your
own
own
music.
music.
We making our own music.
I don't know. For me,
So do y'all need music? Some people need music. Some people don't.
I think you need
I've
music
never
if you're trying to
needed
set a
music.
certain atmosphere.
I never needed music either.
If you're trying to set a certain atmosphere to where you're trying to, you're trying to go all out, you're trying to do something special for your wife, go, get a
It's
hotel
the
room,
precursor.
Airbnb, you want to set the mood
That's
with
the
some nice
precursor.
music and stuff
So
like
what
that.
you setting the mood with?
You know what I'm saying? For me,
Jazz music.
Jazz.
Jazz. I listen
What if
to
your girl
jazz.
not into jazz?
I
It don't
listen
matter.
to-
I'm throwing on some Tank. I'm throwing on
All right, we got a comment.
I'm throwing on some
I mean,
Tank. I'm throwing on something. I'm throwing on something to get my body.
Like
Can't play no
90s,
Tank.
90s
Can't play
slow
that.
I'm
jams.
throwing
See,
90s
so where that
jams.
messes me up
Best
is
of the
that's what I
90s.
used to listen to when I was in the world doing that. So if I'm playing that,
See, this is the advantage of
that's gonna take
of-
my mind other
of-
places.
Of
But would you want that to take you places with your wife? That's your
But-
wife.
Not if I'm thinking
But
about
what
this
if-
was the song I
Yeah, with
got
someone
intimate with
else.
someone else.
Or
with.
that
I'm
was
not
her
thinking
favorite
about that.
song with somebody
Yeah.
else.
No, he's right because
I understand that.
the music
I
creates
listen,
memories.
I
It just
understand
does.
I understand that.
You remember the smell in the room just when the song come on.
Facts.
Come on, Shondo. Come on, talk then.
Start smelling the beach like,
But then that becomes an open door, an open gate for
It is.
for hey, maybe the next day now that's still playing in my head, and now I
Right.
want to listen to
So
more
that's
music.
why.
and then
That's
now,
Now
why
you in the
it's
car.
a fine line.
now
You
I'm
just
thinking
can't be.
about that place
You
again.
can't be throwing on anything.
Now you in the car on full volume.
You can't be throwing right.
Okay, okay. For
Every
me,
so often.
it's what me and my wife have music that we listen to together that have
And if y'all got
created
y'all
that
song,
has
y'all got
created
y'all
some
song.
some
That's
very
between y'all.
powerful worship moments.
Right. Amen.
You know what I'm saying? And so yeah. So there's music that we've listened to together
Just to be close to
that we
you.
created. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not finna put on no "Just to Be Close to You" is my desire.
Let
knowing darn
it
well
rain. Let it rain.
That's gonna be a good one.
You said what?
Yeah,
That's that TD Jakes.
Yeah, man. I'm not listening to TDJs.
Well, what? How do?
I don't want no deep voice in the background.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't want that.
That's what I'm saying. Now,
I don't want
if there is some Christian artists who come out with some music
I got
that
some
is
good
for
Christian.
the
I got
adults,
some good Christian sex music.
then I'll take a jab at it.
BJ, you had all the music, man.
I got a good Christian
He really got a discography of music for real.
discography.
You had them slow jams too. So I got my first like rap CD from BJ. My first, I think it was like R&B music, and then I got a slow
Got you,
jam
man.
one from BJ too.
I'm the
man.
mood
You
setter.
hooked me up, man.
I'm the mood setter. I
Helped
got
my
you.
little brother clear out his iPod of all his old music. Like,
And
that
look
was-
at you now. How many kids later?
right? Like, I'm at
It's
we
working.
got 4. Like,
It's working.
It's legit.
It's working.
So you don't listen to no R&B?
I don't.
No.
I mean, I remember old songs, but I don't like that. I don't have a go-to. I don't go to it and just play
Ever
it.
since I cut music, I have never really needed music.
So you be playing podcasts in the background? Do that.
It don't matter what's in the background for
Do
me.
that.
Build it.
Do that.
It don't
Build
even
it up.
matter.
Yes.
Seinfeld in the background, laughing.
The Netflix still going.
TV show.
I got Monk on in the background.
You got what?
I got Monk on in the background.
But when you have kids, you learn to tune things out.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you
for,
just gotta,
for sure.
You gotta make it
That's
work.
true.
You're right
That's
about
true.
that.
So
You have
it
to.
really don't matter what's playing.
You have to. Daddy!
It
Daddy!
goes so well.
Open the door. Go sit down.
Nah, you just stay quiet. Pretend to be asleep.
That's true too.
Pretend.
You need to go in your room. Go sit down. I just want a snack. Go get a snack.
Having a whole
Well, like,
You saying all of that in the middle?
in the
In
middle.
the middle of
Mid
it.
stroke.
In the middle of it.
Mid stroke.
Hey. Hey, I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you.
My baby boy be beating the door down like
Wow.
a grown man. I'm not even
He
joking.
be
Lord,
beating
am I
the door
joking?
down.
He be beating the door down like a grown man. Daddy! Like, boy, he got some strong hands.
Like it's his house.
Like,
Like he trying to get. Like
He be beating
trying to-
it like,
like
go
he the
sit
cop trying to get
down.
in his
Nah.
house.
go sit down, boy.
No, they be knowing. They show
I just
up
want
right
some
on
milk.
time.
Like, boy, go sit down.
Daddy trying to get some milk.
Right.
I'm in the middle of milk right
Come
now.
on, church. Let's talk.
man.
Daddy trying to get some milk right now. Let's talk. Stop thinking about yourself.
He a trip, man.
We went from mind control to mind blowing.
Sex is mind controller.
It is.
It is.
That's advice.
Sex is.
Sex
I was
is
about to say
beautiful.
great mind control, but it's powerful mind control,
It is.
depending on what relationship you in.
So we
Can
got
be
our.
positive or negative.
That's a strong one.
It's a whole process that you have to go through, but we're not going to talk
Of
about
sex?
that. It's a whole process.
Yeah, you
got
got to
go
start
through.
off with the foreplay, and
You
then
got to start off. Yeah. Well, we'll talk
you-
about that
I
another
mean,
time.
yeah.
depending on
How
how much
can you
time
do
you got.
foreplay?
That's
It
what I
really
want.
do. It really
got-
do.
But
You gotta
ain't
go
got time for all
Do
that.
you have to go into the foreplay mode?
It depends.
Well, you ain't got
I-
time.
if
to
you
go
have-
into
That's for the
foreplay
wife.
mode.
For the
If-
most of the time, that's for the
sometimes
wife.
Listen. If you're not
That's for the
doing
wife.
it, you're not doing it.
Whoa.
Yes.
If you're not doing it, you're not doing it.
Exactly.
That's,
I'm
depends
telling
on-
you.
it's a time and place for everything.
But listen, if you don't have time, you just don't have time.
This
Ain't
is the
nothing you can do about it.
after dark portion of the podcast. Hopefully, everybody
We over the hour. limit.
underage and stop listening. We need to put a disclaimer.
The disclaimer.
Right at that timer. This is after dark hours.
Real grown men talk at,
Yeah.
at a certain
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Hey man, this was a great conversation, man. We truly appreciate you guys joining us on tonight's episode, talking about the power of music from a world perspective and a Christian perspective. The most important thing that we want to do before we leave this podcast is we want to present Jesus to you. We want you to know that, man, Jesus loves you. Jesus is here for you. Jesus died on the cross for you. And the most important thing we want you to do is give your life to Jesus. So if you are not saved, man, this is the time to confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus died on the cross for you so you could be saved. That's the most important thing.
This includes the backslider.
I'm talking about the straight backslider. I believe we all backslid up here. You know what I'm saying? And God
You
has
might
given
be
us.
having sex right now.
I'm talking about deep dive.
Listen,
in that
listen
thing.
to our
this
podcast.
I'm talking about you
Nah,
could
that's
be
weird.
smoking
Don't
a
do
blunt
that.
right
That's-
now.
yeah,
You
that's-
could be about to cut somebody out right now. But guess what? Jesus still saves. God loved you that much that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. And this is the moment for you to literally say, God, here I am. You can have all of me. So I pray in the
Come
name of
as you are.
Jesus that God, you give God your all. You ain't got to come perfect, but you got to come willing to be perfected. So we appreciate you all for joining us live.
Just
This is
gotta
Real
come.
Man Be Talking podcast, where every man has a story. And
This is ours.
Peace.
Don't gotta come perfect. Just come.